You're watching The Ready Writer, a show where I get to speak to writers of all different genres, mediums, and experiences. The Ready Writer. Are you ready?
Hi, and welcome to another episode of The Ready Writer. Again, this week we're celebrating Black Children's Book Week, and today's writing guest is Adia Johnson. Let's get this show started. So, my first question for you was becoming an author a lifelong dream?
No, it wasn't. A friend of mine wrote a book during the start of COVID in 2020 for her second grade class, and it inspired me to write a book. I really love affirmations and building up youth. So I decided to focus on building a book that reflects that.
Was there any hesitations or fears when you first got the idea to do that?
No, because like I mentioned, being that my friend just did hers and she self-published it, and she already had an illustrator who I also used as well. That was kind of like a little roadmap for me to use. I was more concerned about people actually liking the book after it was put out.
Awesome. So, did you just take cues from her, or did you do any outside research before publishing?
Not necessarily. I did publish on Amazon, so I did a free publishing Amazon account, and I just wanted to see where it would go from there.
Awesome. So, what's the name of this book, and tell us about it?
It is called Enchanting Me, 31 Daily Affirmations for Kids. I'm a big Disney fan. Most of my value systems enforced by my grandmother and my mother were reflected in Disney films that I watched growing up. So I really loved them. My mother used to read a lot to me as well, Disney books as well as Dr. Seuss. So that is incorporated in the book as well. So with all of the affirmations, there is either a Disney quote affiliated with it, or a quote directly from a Dr. Seuss book or whatever that ties into it. Just so that kids can actually start building up their library and referring to those type of books as well, because these are classics. I think they're classics. And then encourage them to watch those older movies as well, like Snow White and The Little Mermaid.
Awesome. What was it like for you learning how to publish a book during a time where most people thought that it was not the time to publish a book? During the pandemic, most people believed, this is not the time to start something new. It actually is the perfect time to start something new. The thing is, though, you had more restrictions than those who published their book prior to the pandemic. So what was that experience like?
Well, I was actually one of the people who thought of the latter. So I thought it would be easier to start a book now because I have the downtime. Although I was working remotely from home, taking out of that extra hour that I would need to spend on the train to get to work, that could be used to do something focused on me or building up my career development. So I used that time to put together my book.
And I'm not sure how things are where you live. Are you able to have events in the summer as far as book signing or go to book festivals or anything like that?
Yes, so I'm actually in New York City. So when I released my book last year, which was in May, I did do a book signing. I had found this small and really cute coffee shop. So I had a book signing there. A few of my family and friends and some locals visited as well. And then I had another book signing at, so there's this in Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, where I'm from. There's this weekly event that happens on Sundays where Black vendors come out and sell their merchandise. A woman in particular created this event that focuses on giving books by Black and Brown authors for free to children in the neighborhood. So she put this event together. It was an annual event. She had started during 2020, so 2021 was the second time. And she invited me to come along and just be a guest there. She purchased some of my books, and I was there to sign it for the kids that stopped by. So they had free copies of my book as well. And then I actually did another book signing. My book is sold at a Black toy store / bookstore in Harlem called Brooklyn's Children, called Grandma's Place, sorry. and it's they receive signed copies. So I did a book signing there as well about a couple months ago.
I like that idea, toy store slash bookstore, because when we think of children, that's the first thing we think of is toys, and we don't understand books. Toys are great, they're wonderful. Books, though, are more important in that it should be a balance of both, not just toys. So I like that they have a toy bookstore. So you seem so, because I know people who are so scared of publishing and so scared of ABC, and you seem like you have no fear whatsoever, and that you're running. What would you say is the cause, is helping you do that, to just get out there and do it without worrying about, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, I don't have this, I don't have that. You're just going for it. What would you say is the push behind that?
One, I think, is my personality. That's just how I am in general. I'm a risk taker. I love adventure seeking activities like skydiving and whatnot. So I'm one of those type of people who just jump head first into something later, ask questions after. But I also think having a strong support system of friends and family. So I did have friends, during the process, I did have times where I'm like, people might not like this, maybe I shouldn't do this. And I did have a couple of friends who encouraged me. They're like, this is what you enjoy doing. You do it for us on a daily basis. So this is something that's going to be great for children. And I think you should just focus on that and just keep pushing forward. So I think having friends who encourage you, even though you're the encourager, that support system is important.
Are you in the process of working on another book?
Yes, I'm currently working on a second book. I already have the concept. I wanted to focus on working through feelings and emotions. There's a part in my current book where I do have an affirmation based on letting your feelings pass and just embracing them at times. But I really want to focus on ways to handle emotions and feelings for children. And yes, I'm working on that, and I want to have it out by May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm trying to make sure it gets done by then.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that, by the way. We definitely need to, things are getting better with mental health. It's still, in my opinion, taking too slow to just deal with it without all of the excuses as to why people don't deal with it. So what were some of the things you learned during your publishing processes, some mistakes you made, some things you would like to share with those who have not done it yet and are thinking about doing it?
One thing I would like to share is to definitely have a really good illustrator who sees your vision. You want to make sure that your book reflects what you see. I was really detail oriented into what pictures I wanted. I already had a draft of the affirmations, and I said the quotes that were following up, what pictures I wanted to see reflected in that. So having someone who's on the same page as you the whole way through is really important to have. Being that I self-published and I didn't actually go through the whole looking for a publishing company, I think that made things a little bit easier for me, especially since KDP, which is Amazon's publishing site, makes it really simple to actually get your book out there. And also, I think for me, the really hard part is just the advertising. I'm one of those people who is not at the forefront all the time. I really hate public speaking and speaking about myself in general. But I think someone who's really good at marketing, who's really good at advertising, or who has friends who are really good in it, maybe bringing them on board to help you with that might be really beneficial.
Thank you so much for that. And if you can, if someone you know, or a friend, or even a stranger came to you and said, I have this book idea, and they had 20 meetings, they did everything, they're just stuck. What would you tell that person to get them moving?
Stuck as far as they haven't finished the book, or they're just stuck about releasing it?
They're scared to move forward. They have everything, and even if they don't have everything, they've overthought it too much. All of the, I think as a whole, because school teaches us, you get a degree and then everything is going to be perfect from there. We start thinking about all our failures that could happen, so then we get stuck. And so, what advice or encouragement would you give someone who's asked too many questions and they just don't want to move forward, even though it's something they feel they need to do, they've just made themselves too scared to do it?
If you have a higher calling, or you have a feeling that this is that this book or this project is something that you need to put out there, then you just need to just put it out there. Think of any mogul or anyone who's created anything that we use now. Think of Instagram, Facebook, all these creators who built these products that we use. If they were fearful the whole way through, we wouldn't be utilizing them and we wouldn't be benefiting from it. So someone out there is going to benefit from your work. You just have to believe in yourself to actually push through and put it out there. Like I said, have a close knit group of friends who are encouragers. You don't want people who are constantly critiquing your work. You want people who are going to push you, to propel you to actually get it out there. If you, I think having someone hold you accountable. So if you say you're going to actually put your work out in a particular month, have a friend who's going to remind you, how are you coming along with that? Just so that it keeps motivating you, so that you can't actually get scared because you have someone looking forward to seeing your work. So yeah, get it done.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So my last question, or request, I should say, what words do you have to the parents and children who are considering purchasing this book?
I'll definitely say bye. This book is wonderful for both children and adults. I have friends my age who are actually reading this book for themselves. It's always refreshing to hear or to be able to recite positive words daily about yourself. We have too many negative items in the world that are bringing us down, especially on social media. So taking the time out the day just to recite one positive affirmation can just really build up your esteem and set you on your path to have a really great day.
That is all the time we have for you today on The Ready Writer. I want to thank our guest, Adia Johnson, for stopping on by and sharing her journey. And of course, you, the audience, thank you so much for watching again. Have a great day. Hi, I am Casey Bell, host of The Ready Writer, and we are celebrating Black Children's Book Week. Don't forget, all this week up until March 5th, we will be celebrating. And of course, there are so many more events happening in person and virtual. Go to the website, blackbabybooks.com, for more information. Thank you for watching.